What up, you guys? Drew, Dirty Mid Media, coming to you with another Cannabis Talk. And in this episode of Cannabis Talk, I'm going to go into a few of my trials and struggles with addiction and why and how cannabis helped me get through a lot of the withdrawals, depression, anxiety that came along with my addiction, my road to recovery. I was addicted to opiates. I started by abusing Darvocets, Norcos, Tramadols, Vicodins, Percocets, Tylenol 3s, and graduated all the way through every pill that you can think of until I eventually got to heroin and fentanyl and all of that stuff. And I did a whole lot of that mess, trust me. And eventually I got to the point where I hit rock bottom multiple times, bounced multiple times, and I wanted to change my life. You know what I'm saying? And I had one of two options. I had either go to rehab, I have a kid, I have rent I have to pay, I have a job, I don't have that kind of time to lay down and go to rehab. My other option was Network 180 and having them send me to the methadone clinic. That is the option I went with. Now, methadone can help people a lot. It can also be abused if you don't respect it. But the methadone clinic can do wonders for you if you really want to change your life and recover and want to get on that road to recovery and respect it. We'll get into the methadone clinic on another episode. But right now it's about this. When I initially decided to start my journey down the road to recovery, I went to the methadone clinic and they didn't give me necessarily enough methadone to combat all my withdrawals because I was doing a lot of dope. I was doing multiple grams a day. We'll just leave it at that. And I was a full-blown junkie, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, smoking cannabis helped me get through the first month and a half, 2 months of going through pain and depression and anxiety and hating myself. Smoking weed helped me so much. It helped me sleep. It helped me eat. It's the only reason that I could eat and that I could sleep and that I could even function, you know what I'm saying? Or be at all a likable person, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, it took a while to get up to the right dose because of how badly I was abusing heroin and the fentanyl being introduced into it. I think that my tolerance was just so fucking high, you know what I mean? For anything opiate related. But methadone, they eventually got my dose right. And it was tight, man, for a while. But I still struggled with the depression, with the anxiety, with all that if I didn't smoke cannabis. This shit has gotten me through all of it. Has gotten me through any of the depression. I still smoke it for depression every day. If I don't smoke, a number of things can trigger my depression. I think also if I don't smoke, a number of things will trigger my anxiety. A number of things. I won't eat. Like, I'm dead serious about that shit. This is literally my medication every day. You know what I'm saying? And it is the biggest godsend as far as getting me through the initial like pain and withdrawals of kicking the habit and drying myself out. You know what I'm saying? And it was just not like it did wonders for me, period. And it will do wonders for you. I also wanted to say before I end this blog that never, if you or someone you know is starting on their road to recovery, relapse, don't be ashamed of yourself for relapsing. Relapse is part of recovery, period. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you pick yourself back up and refocus. Don't let that relapse turn into or drag you back into that same lifestyle again. Do not let that happen. Refocus and keep it moving. Do not beat yourself up over a relapse. That's part of recovery. That is gonna happen. What it's about is focusing and making the relapses farther and fewer in between. And eventually, it's easier to deal with life and not have so many triggers, and so many things won't trigger you to relapse and to use drugs. You will get more confident in yourself. You will get more confident that you will do the right thing. This has always helped me get there. This. I don't need nothing but this. It's literally a miracle plant. Yeah, it helps with pain. It can help with cataracts, with glaucoma. It can help cancer patients with pain. But I think for me and for a lot of people, it has the biggest effect psychologically. Like I said earlier in the blog, if you have issues with depression, if you have issues with anxiety, this shit can really help. Smoking cannabis can help big time. It's the only reason I got through. That and methadone are the only two reasons I got through my addiction. Period. The only two reasons. It was very tough for me. I tried multiple times cold turkey. It's so painful, and so not everybody's built for that shit. Like, I know that I probably could have if I absolutely had to, but whenever I tried to do it cold turkey, I would just revert, you know what I'm saying, back to getting high again. Smoking weed, methadone, and eventually just smoking weed will help you so fucking much, man, as far as making that transition, man, into changing your thought process, because kicking an addiction is changing your thought process, period. Trying to change the triggers into triggering that you want to try to trigger something, change your thought process into triggering some sort of a more positive way to deal with your problems. So cannabis is a miracle drug for depression, for all of that. For me, it's helped me cope with all of it rather than take an antidepressant that's been prescribed that has a long fucking 2-page list of side effects. And okay, if I'm reading the side effects and an antidepressant tells me that it might make me more suicidal, then that shit doesn't add up, man. That is messed up. Anything that messes with your chemical balance like that, I don't think is right. I am against antidepressants and against all of that noise. I think you could just smoke weed. Just smoke weed. Period. That's my message for today. And I wanted to talk about my trials with addiction, and I will go a lot deeper into my addiction at some point on this channel. I'm also dealing with helping one of my brothers go through battle alcoholism. I'm helping him with cannabis a whole lot. And I'll have him come on the channel and speak as well when he's ready. You know what I'm saying? And speak on his trials and tribulations, and speak on just his life in general, and his battle with alcoholism and addiction. So, yeah, man. It's Drew signing off for Dirty Mitten Media. This has been Cannabis Talk, episode 7. We out of here.